Hello everyone, I'm Lanier's Fragrance Reviews, and today is part 1 of part 3, and I want to talk about fragrances that attracts the ladies. Okay, I'm going to start out with this one fragrance. It's called Polo Deep Blue Parfum. Okay, look at that juice, that nice blue, looks like you at a beach or a nice blue looking ocean. And I can say that this one smells to me like a cologne you can wear if you're going to the beach. Or you can wear this cologne anywhere, but it smells kind of beachy to me. And it's definitely for the spring and the summertime. I'm going to tell you, like, I threw this on. I worn this several times, but one of the times I threw this fragrance on, and this one girl that I was working with, as soon as I walked through the door at work, she got excited. She was like, "Oh, that smells good." She was into colognes herself. So that's one way that her and I connected. We would talk about cologne. She wore, some of the men's colognes, so colognes where she wore a lot of dupes, to be honest with you. She wore a lot of dupes, but when she smelled this, she definitely complimented me on this. And I can say this right here, Polo Deep Blue will attract the ladies. I bought mine from Nordstrom. I'm not sure you can still find this in the stores, but you can definitely find it online from an online discounter like Fragrance Net. You can even check fragrancebuy.ca to see if they have it. But this is definitely a good one to have. You can smell it. You could tell this is for the spring and the summertime. Okay, like I said, to my nose, it smells like I'm next to the ocean or the beach or something. It is a really nice smell. If you haven't smelled it, I would say order a sample of it, or if you can go into a store, maybe you might find it at Nordstrom Rack or maybe at Marshall somewhere where you can try this and spray it on your skin and see how you like it. But this one definitely attracts the ladies, okay? My next one I want to talk about is by the House of Mancera. It's one of the popular ones, and I'm going to say this is Cedrat Boise Intense version. You can't go wrong with either or. Me, I'm more of an intense guy. The original Cedrat Boise had a lot of hype with it as well. I really didn't get into this scent until the Intense came out, even though it smells similar, but it was something about this Intense one that drew me to this. And I've been complimented by the ladies on this as well. This one, has that nice, it has a slightly sweet smell to it. And I'll say, to me, on my skin, it lasts all day on my skin. This one does. Everybody's skin chemistry is different. That's why it's best to go try. If you haven't smelled either one of them, I would definitely recommend to go smell the original Cedrat Boise along with the Cedrat Boise Intense to see which one you like better. So I can say this definitely is a nice little staple to have, and it will attract the ladies, okay? Now, my next scent I want to talk about is by the House of Alexandria Fragrances. And by the name, this is a clone fragrance, and it's going to be Afternoon Splash, a clone of Louis Vuitton Afternoon Swim. Okay, now when I bought this, I have no intentions on buying the real deal Louis Vuitton Afternoon Swim. Louis Vuitton released some nice fragrances, don't get me wrong. Afternoon Swim smells good, but it doesn't last on my skin. So I bought this based off of reviews that I've heard. I heard a lot of good things about this one, and I can tell you right now, I have not been disappointed at all. Smells about 95%, 98% like Afternoon Swim, okay? Except it lasts all day on my skin, okay? And I can tell you, one of the times I've been complimented by this fragrance was when I was in the drive-thru. I was in the drive-thru ordering food, and this female that was, when I drove up to the window, this female was telling me, "Oh, you smell real good. That's nice. I like that cologne you're wearing." It actually left me kind of self-conscious, like maybe I put too much on, okay? Because I was in the car and she was behind, in the drive-thru window. So I told her maybe I need to go wash some of this off if it's that strong. But this is a nice smell and it projects, okay? So now, ever since she told me that, I did tone down a little bit on my sprays because I don't want to choke anybody out when I'm wearing this fragrance. But I can tell you this smells just like Afternoon Swim. In the air, I don't think anyone could tell that you're wearing a clone of Afternoon Swim. And it lasts all day on my skin. Like I said, Louis Vuitton, they make some nice fragrances. But certain fragrances, I really don't want to spend $300 and something on it if it's not going to last all day on my skin, or if you can barely smell it 2 to 3 hours later. This one, I smell all day when I'm wearing it, and I can tell you, this one definitely attracts the ladies. Now, I know when it comes to Louis Vuitton, one of the Afternoon Swim is a good one that a lot of people talk about, and people talk about Imagination. Now, if I'm going to buy Imagination, I could see me buying the real Louis Vuitton. I had samples of Imagination and sprayed it on my skin, and that lasted on my skin all day. But the Louis Vuitton fragrances that doesn't last on my skin all day, I don't mind buying the clones of that fragrance. And this is by the House of Alexandria, and this is Afternoon Splash. Fellas, you want to check this one out. If you like Afternoon Swim, but if Afternoon Swim is performing on your skin the way you like it, I say buy Afternoon Swim. But if it's not performing on your skin and you want to find an alternative, I could say Afternoon Splash is one alternative. Afternoon Swim, Louis Vuitton, they have a lot of different clones. But I can tell you, I can speak from experience. This one right here is a nice clone to have, and it will attract the ladies in the spring and the summertime, okay? My next fragrance I want to talk about is Dior Homme Parfum, okay? Now, I recently bought this one. I had my eye on that one for a while. I bought samples of Dior Homme Parfum in the past, and I think the samples that I had was before they released the new one, which is, I believe this is the new one because it does smell different to me, but it has some similar smells as to my nose as the older one, okay, that I had samples of in the past, okay. And I can say this one can be worn in the fall and the winter time. This is the only this one and one other fragrance I have on this list that's mostly for the fall and the winter time, but all the other ones are for the spring and the summertime, okay. And I can say this one, I've definitely been complimented by females with Dior Homme Parfum. Now I could say if you haven't smelled this one, I could say get yourself a sample of it, okay? But it's definitely for the fall and the winter time, and this is a nice staple to have in your collection. My next one, it's going to be by the House of Mancera again. Now, this next fragrance is a fragrance that is not necessarily talked about that much from the House of Mancera. You don't really hear about this one a lot at all. But I can say this is definitely a nice one. I can say you can go to your local Bloomingdale's and just try this one, okay? And this is Silver Blue by Mancera. And I'm going to tell you, this is the other one I was talking about in today's video that is mostly for the fall and the winter. But I think you can wear this. You can wear this in the early spring as well. In the springtime, maybe at nighttime when it cools down a little bit, you can still pull this one off. I'll probably stay away from this one in the summertime. It does have that sweet smell to it. Not sure how that will work out in the summer. Something that I might try in the summer, but it's a little, I think I'm gonna wait. No, I won't try this one in the summer because I don't think it's gonna work too well in the summer. But I will tell you this, one of the times that I was complimented on this, I mean, this girl was getting excited about the smell. She was like, oh my gosh. She was like, that's the one, that's it. And this was, no, and I told her, I was like, yeah, this is my underground joint that I wear, you know, something that you're going to smell different. When you're not going to smell like anyone else, because this one does not get talked about. When people think Mancera, they think Cedrat Bourse, Aoud Lemon Mint, I believe that's how you pronounce it. I believe that's the name of it, and some of the other scents that they have. So once you get this Silver Blue, you're going to definitely stand out. Like if I'm hanging out with some friends, because I have another friend of mine, he's into fragrances as well too. And certain fragrances I do not wear when I know I'm going to be around him, because I know he owns certain fragrances. But I would not worry about him owning this one, because this is not talked about that much. And you definitely will be set apart from the crowd when you wear this. And this one definitely is a lady killer. And I know that from experience, okay? My next one, this is a nice one right here, boy, I tell you. Woo! All right, love it. And the ladies love it. Roja Elysium, okay? This is the first one that was released. The second one I think is Intense, I believe. This is Eau de Parfum version, okay? Roja Elysium. This one right here, I'm gonna tell you, like, now me, I don't go too heavy with the trigger on this one. 4 sprays is perfect for me. It's not too much and it's not too little. And I'm gonna tell you, when I realized that the ladies really like this one is when I went to a store in the cologne section where they do not sell this fragrance. And the female behind the counter in the cologne section, the men's cologne section, was complimenting me on this fragrance. Now, I honestly was surprised that she could smell it, because to my nose, on my skin, this has a light smell, okay? But I never wanted to go heavy on the trigger, because to me, to my nose, it's too much if I go heavy on the trigger with this. 4 sprays, if I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt, 1 spray on each arm and 1 spray on each side of the neck. If I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt like this, I will spray 2 on the neck and 2 behind, 1 behind, 1 on each side of the neck and 1 behind each side of the ear. And I could say this one, you would definitely smell the vetiver coming out of this one. This is, in my opinion, this is a vetiver-based fragrance. And it has a real nice smell to it. Fellas, if you have not gotten your nose on this, you want to go to your local Neiman Marcus, okay? And you want to ask to smell Roja Elysium, okay? I mean, they have, they have some new ones out as well. You want to smell the original, and while you're there, if you haven't smelled it, you might as well smell the Intense version. But I would recommend this one, but you gotta have to go with what's best, what you like. And this one definitely attracts the ladies. The ladies, they love this one right here. Last and not least, okay, anytime I'm talking about spring and summer fragrances, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna have this one in my video, okay? I'm gonna talk about this one, and I've been hoping to get a full bottle of this one. Haven't been able to buy a full bottle of this one, but I went through about 3 decants of this, and this is Suspiro Vibrato. Okay, I don't know if you can. Okay, Suspiro Vibrato. Okay, I want to get a full bottle of this. And if I can't get a full bottle by the middle of the summer, I might break down and buy me another decant. But the way I look at it now is the money that I was spending to buy a decant, I might as well apply that towards a full bottle. Because I went through about 3 decant. Well, one of them was free because, like I said in my first video, I said one of the guys that I know that bought this full bottle, a guy that I work with, since I put him on, he bought the bottle to work and he allowed me to spray, fill this up from his bottle. So that was my 3rd decant. I think I went through about 3, if not maybe 4, but one of them was free because the guy I work with that actually bought the bottle allowed me to fill it up. Now I'm gonna tell you this grapefruit in this, I could still, even though this is empty, I could still smell it. And this, I'm telling you, and then when I wore this, I received a lot of compliments, from the fellas and the ladies. And the ladies loved this. And they was telling me how good this smells on me and how nice it smells. And I'm telling you, now I think both men and women can wear this fragrance, okay? Now, the guy that bought the bottle that I work with, I asked him, did it smell, because it does have a sweet smell to it. And I asked him, did it smell feminine to him? He was like, oh, nah. He told me he would have got on me if it smelled feminine. So when I smelled it on him, it didn't smell feminine. So it smelled masculine to me. Actually, I think it's a unisex, though. When I smell it right here, I could see how a lady could pull this off, too. But the fellas, I'm telling you, on your skin, the ladies, this is definitely a lady killer. I hear one, definitely if I go on vacation, if I go to Miami, I go anywhere on vacay in the summertime, I'm rocking this fragrance, okay? I'm telling you, Suspiro Vibrato. I've been trying to get my hands on it for a while. I would love to get a full bottle of this. And when I do, I'm definitely going to have it in my video. Even if it's wintertime, I'm going to show y'all I have my full bottle now. So that's going to be it for today. This, again, like I said, today's video is part 1 of part 3. I have 3 videos where I want to put y'all on fragrances that attracts the ladies. Okay, y'all have a good day, and I will see y'all next time on Lanier's Fragrance Reviews.